Okay. How's it, David?
How's it? Okay. So, welcome to... Oh, where am I looking? I'm looking there. Okay. How's it? Welcome to the second episode of Drivin Dads. We now have decided on the name.
Yep.
Okay. In all honesty, this is our second take at the second episode. Technical problems. Let's just leave it at that. Technical problems. We tried to record
we can share the technical problem because it's quite funny. What was it? 45 minutes of our chat. And we got 5 seconds of you and then 45 minutes of my head.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Funny. So this is take 2. Okay. So let's see. Okay. So this week we're going to discuss a couple of things. Last week we spoke about the sub 1 million hatchback. So
sub 1 million hatchback. Yep.
Okay. So we're going to look at that. We're going to look at some new car launches. A little bit of F1 and just some general chit chat.
We'll see what happens. Let's start with this hot hatch under 1 million. So I've pulled out the price list here from this All Cars Top Auto. It's quite nice. This is actually a nice website for looking at the new car prices. But we mentioned the Honda Civic Type R, which is the most expensive hatchback, or under 1 million.
Yeah. Okay. So 979. Okay. So. We were some mixed opinions about it.
Yeah.
But the question is, that sort of cash, what else can you get? Okay. So
I mean, looking at this list, I mean, there's the Renault, the BMW M135, which I do kind of like. I think that's a really nice, even though I'm not a huge BMW fan.
Yeah.
But I think, and I know I said it last week that I don't think the Renault, the Honda's worth it. But I think the BM is worth 930.
Yeah. I mean, granted, this BM is going to run through 30,000, 40,000 rand in options before you drive it off. But it's, about all accounts, it's a fabulous car. Yeah. Okay. It's got a baby brother, the 128 Ti, which we'll probably see just now, which I really, really like.
Yeah.
Okay. The Megane, a little long in the tooth now. New one coming soon, though.
Yeah, also 950, eh?
Yeah. Okay.
Although, I mean...
the Renaults have always been good handling hot hatches.
It matches the Civic Type R for power.
Yeah.
So 221 kilowatts and 420 Newton meters of torque.
But I mean, a hot hatch power isn't the be all and end all.
Yeah.
I mean, at the sort of level.
I do like them again, though. I think.
Yeah. It's a fabulous looking car.
You can actually see it. Yeah, it's quite interesting. So you look at the checkered flag kind of vibe in the light.
Yeah.
Like those are cool little details.
Yes.
I think.
No. Renault design at the moment is actually very, very, very good at the moment. Okay, so
except for the Pac-Man looking light vibe.
Okay, Golf R.
Yeah. It's your staple on the list.
Yeah. Okay.
Surprisingly, a lot more expensive than the GTR.
S3.
I love that. I love the S3. I actually love the S and the RS, the Audi RSs. Yeah, like we mentioned last week, the type of people who drive them.
Unfortunately.
But they are phenomenal cars.
Yeah. Okay, the Yaris.
Yeah.
The little Yaris 1.6.
It's weird that there's 3 Toyotas on this list between 800 and a million.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah.
But that little Yaris, I mean, it's tiny. I mean, you see the Yaris on the road. I mean, it's a minute little car.
Yeah.
But with a little 1.6 in it, I think that would be a lot of fun to be...
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And that's all-wheel drive as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's insane. Four-wheel drive in a car, that's...
But so look, it says GR4 Rally.
Yeah.
Because it's from the Rally...
Yeah.
What are the homologation?
Yeah.
I mean...
Kazoo Racing, yeah.
That's
GR.
like...
Yeah.
360 Newton meters of torque.
He's not bad.
In a little... I mean, that thing's probably the lightest of all of these.
Yeah, it's the smallest by quite a margin.
But 815...
Yeah, that is quite an ask for a car that size.
It's quite an ask for a Toyota Yaris.
Yeah.
Like when you think about it.
I mean, see if we can find the price for the standard Yaris. I mean, compare.
Yeah, I mean, we could. But we also looked at, so you mentioned,
Okay, there's the 128 Ti.
So this is the 128 Ti you mentioned.
Okay. I really like it. I mean, it's very understated. Okay. Just the little flashes of the red or orange on the
little TI on the...
Yeah. I mean, the TI badge throws back all the way to the 2000 Ti. I mean,
I love the red accent. Look at the little red accents inside.
Front wheel drive though. Oh no, front wheel drive. Not like the 135, which is 4 wheel drive. But it's a good looking little car. What's it? 180 kilowatts, 380 newton meters of torque. So
2-litre turbo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's once again BMW options push up the price.
Yeah, you know what though? I think about this car. Like when you look at a normal, let's say you were buying, like you see on the right there, it says what the 118R, Sport line. Ooh. You would add options to that, but you wouldn't add so many options to the TI.
Yeah, probably not.
You know,
it's probably really well decked out.
You wouldn't need body kits. You wouldn't need fancy wheels.
The M line and so on. I mean, all that. So yeah, I mean that's probably quite good value for money if you're comparing it to standard BM.
So for the M135R, which is probably slightly quicker,
and
as opposed to this, which looks better and has more character.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd take this any day.
Yeah.
I think that's a divine looking car.
Yeah, I think it's a really nice little
standard BMW-ish interior.
Yeah.
Not so much emphasis on the screens.
It's sort of a generation sort of behind the obviously current BM.
Little TI embroidered into the.
It's a very nice little thing.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. Okay, so we're looking. Okay, so what else we had? Okay, there's the GTRs. Okay, okay, Mini Coopers.
2 GTRs.
One special edition. Yeah.
What's the difference?
Yeah.
I wonder. Because they've used the same photo.
Yeah, no idea.
Lovely.
Okay.
Mini Coopers standard on these lists.
Yeah. Also very, very cool. There's an A3 Sportback, but that's not really. Okay, John Cooper, JC. How the hell is the JCW cheaper than the Cooper SE? That's fascinating. That's
very interesting. That might be older though. Yeah.
No, it's same generation. Very strange.
Yeah, that is weird, and it's 20,000 rand cheaper. So that's not a. Wow, that's very interesting.
That's something we have to.
We'll have to ask then the 118D.
No, yeah, I mean, 118D at M Sport. I mean, it's 714. How much is the 764? 50,000 rand difference. I mean, that can be.
You'd be putting on 50 grand's worth of options on this car.
Yeah. So I mean, 128TR makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, I think the 128TR, and it's probably also, I think. Although it's hard to say because you're speculating when you think of resale value.
Yeah.
Which one would sell? And it's said that if you put extras on your car, it doesn't up the value; it just makes selling it easier.
Yeah.
So is it easier to sell the TR or?
I'd say the TR probably is going to hold its value better because it's going to be a much more limited model than the standard.
But that's a great looking car.
Yeah, I think it's probably the nicest of the 1 Series.
Yeah, that's actually very quickly started in my heart as the favorite BMW that I've seen. Also because it's not like massively open. Yeah. I don't want to spend R1 million on a car.
Yeah.
So at 760, almost 200,000 rand cheaper than the Civic.
Yeah. I mean,
and you're not going to be doing. Okay, the Civic broke the front wheel drive record at the Nürburgring.
Yeah, I mean,
we don't have a Nürburgring. Yeah?
No,
we've got the N2 with potholes.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think I'd much rather be.
Yeah, I think that is a very valid point. I mean, in this country, I mean, how much is it going to cost to service that the Civic?
Yeah,
it's such a specialist car.
Will it be as much as the BMW?
It's hard to say.
I know the BMWs are more common.
Yeah.
So that's always been for me, like when I've looked at to service a car. So I remember owning that stupid Fiat Grande Punto.
Yeah.
And everything on that car was unique to that car.
Yeah.
So I couldn't take an alternator from the Dobro, which had the same engine. It wouldn't fit. Somehow they managed to do that. Whereas the likes of BMW use the same engine across their cars.
Yeah.
Renault have started doing that a couple of years, about 10, 15 years ago. So you can get a part off a Sandero or a Quid or it'll fit. And then you've got a commonality of parts. So that makes it cheaper. And so I think possibly because BMW is more common and that even with the TR, it's probably got the same engine as a number of BMWs across the range. You might be able to get more aftermarket stuff and cheaper and better service.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so I mean, of these, 128TR is probably my choice. I mean...
Yeah, I'm with you there, man. I really like the car.
Okay. Yeah,
so BMW
128TR.
128TR. Yeah. That for me is it. That's a beautiful car.
So I'm going to organise a test drive with it.
Yeah, maybe we should make a plan with that.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on.
Right, moving on. So we mentioned top speed, so maybe now's a good time to talk about the Rimac.
Oh, yes.
So they broke how many records?
23. They are cheating a little bit. I mean, they broke 23 records, some in Imperial, some in metric.
Yeah.
Okay, but still, it is.
I think the gist of it is that we've got 23 pieces of data to show that it's the fastest accelerating and decelerating car.
Yeah, it's the numbers are mind blowing.
Yeah,
I mean,
0 to 100, 1.81 seconds. I mean, I don't think I've ever driven a car that's been faster than 4 seconds to 100. So I can't even compute that. I can't even imagine how fast it must be.
Yeah, I mean, and don't forget, this is electric. It's not, doesn't just build up. I mean, it's from the time you put the foot down. But the impressive ones, what's it? 0 to 400 to 0. Okay.
29.93 seconds.
I mean, that's
phenomenal.
You go from 0 to 400 k's an hour and then slam on the brakes.
So let's just do some maths here, because I see 0 to 400, 21.3 seconds. That means that in 8 seconds, the car goes from...
Yeah, but I mean, you're right. I mean, you can work it out. I mean, 0 to 400 was, 21 seconds, and so 400... so it's
8.6 seconds.
Yeah.
That's nuts, eh?
I mean, the stopping power on that is insane. How is it? Electric, so it's going to be quite heavy. I mean...
and you're going to use the brakes and the motors to slow down.
Yeah, using brake. I mean, how much power are you going to be dumping back? But yeah, I mean, that's insane.
9.2 seconds to 300 k's an hour.
I mean, I'm lucky my car is 9.2 k's to 60 k's an hour. And the thing's going 5 times the speed of a few miners. I mean, jeez.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is, like, again, I think I suppose the average person just won't be able to, like, compute that.
Just go.
There's no way I can understand that.
I mean, look, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi.
Yeah, you're faster than a Formula 1 car.
And you're doing 300 k's an hour.
Yeah.
Tech-wise, I mean, Rimac is actually quite astonishing. It's a company that's Croatian, and they do everything in-house.
Yeah.
I mean, everything. I mean,
like they built the chassis, motor, the works.
Yeah, it's all in-house, which is insane for
I love that.
For a new car company to do.
I mean, I wonder at what point that motor technology is going to trickle down to your washing machine. Imagine, beep, clothes washed.
I mean, this company is quite incredible. Don't forget, I mean, now it's not just Rimac, it's Bugatti Rimac, because there was a amalgamation. So the Rimac's not just working on the next generation, but they're also working on the next Bugattis. But the interesting thing is they've stated that the electric Bugatti is not going to be based off the Nevera. Okay, it's going to be a bespoke design.
But they're going to there's lessons they're going to learn.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, I mean, they're not going to just take that and make a new Bugatti.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's something else. I mean,
normally I'd ignore records like this. I think, he needs to go 400 k's an hour.
Yeah.
But there's something in this. Car culture doesn't like electric cars.
Yeah.
Okay. But they love speed.
Yes.
So when you have something that goes, ooh, that's 0 to 400 and back to 0 again in less than 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, that's catching attention.
Yeah. I mean,
you can't sit there going, I want V12s and then go, ooh.
I mean, unfortunately, internal combustion engine, as much as I love it, there are things in process of where we can extend the life. I mean, looking at things like not synthetic fuels, but
the carbon neutral fuels.
Okay, which Porsche is working on and so on. But at the end of the day, we are going to all electric. That's basically mandated now.
Yeah. But I think it's a smart way, because as much as like Porsche are working on the biofuels, and I saw that, I think Donut Media did a video on that. Like they went, and it looks so hard to make that at what point are they going to, like, I mean, you can put your energy into making carbon neutral fuel, or you can put your energy into like the ball's already rolling on electric, so we can just carry on moving forward like these guys are.
I think the last internal combustion engines are going to be guys like Ferrari and so on. I mean, very low production. They can sort of get away with it because overall their emissions are negligible. But unfortunately, they're not going to be able to get away with it forever.
Yeah.
I mean, for example, Lamborghini launched its new V12, but it's going to be the last one. and it's hybrid. Ferrari's launching their new hypercar. It's going to be hybrid as well. So look, but we are sort of reaching the end of the road.
So wouldn't it be great if every car manufacturer had one last hurrah?
Yeah.
Like the one last, okay, we're sending off the internal combustion engine with this.
Yes.
And I mean, so Dodge kind of did it with, what was it, with the Hellcat or something?
Yeah.
Or they're kind of doing it. And just to go, yeah. Like, let's just, this is the last one, and it's going to be.
Okay.
So, we mentioned the one last hurrah. So that's a nice way to move on to.
BMW Z4, convertible. Okay. So they've just launched this concept car.
Yeah.
Okay. It's very much a throwback to the old Z3 Breadman.
Yeah. So I got a picture of the two next to each other here.
Okay. So the one on the left is the old Z3. Okay. That's a M Sport version, M version. Fabulous car. Okay. It was very much a engineer special. Okay, it was a side project by a bunch of engineers, put it together, presented it to BMW, and they said, okay, we'll put it into production, limited to production. Okay. But now we got the new, what they're calling the Touring. Okay. So this is the new Z4 Touring. Okay. So basically the same idea, almost semi-estates sort of rear. But I think this looks... I think this looks utterly superb. I mean, it's a far more cohesive design than, for example, the old Z3, because that was just a bunch of engineers. What can we do? Well, I mean, but it also brings us onto the other big launch this week.
Yeah,
the 5 Series.
5 Series. So there's some of the old ones, and it's interesting that they've given us. I mean, I've driven one of these. They're very, very nice.
Yeah. I mean, that's a classic. I mean, that's the E38, if I remember correctly. E39, yes. Yeah. Okay. E39 again. That is classic. Now that the E60 is one of my favorite designs of all time. Okay. I just hang there for a moment. Okay, I just want to quickly talk about this.
Yeah.
Okay. So this design is actually quite interesting. The guy designed it. Came off the original sketches to the original design. Unfortunately, he passed away. Okay. Very good designer. Responsible for various other designs, but unfortunately, he passed away. The other designers actually told BMW, this is what you're going to be making. And there's very few changes between his original sketches and this design, which is one reason why it was very controversial. Okay,
so here we are.
Okay, so this is the R5. This is the E40. Okay, not the E40, well, the R5.
The R5 e-drive.
So it does have a big grille, but not excessively so compared to, say, the 7. Okay,
look at that dip between the grille. The dip in the bonnet.
It's a new modern. It's a new thing. Look, 3 Series has it. 7 Series has it. Okay. But yeah, I really like that. I think Bruno's really hit the mark with this one.
Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Hit the mark at the front.
Yes. Okay, we've had a discussion about the rear. Okay.
You know what? It's grown on me since I saw it yesterday.
Yeah. Okay. As we know, Bruno's got to have certain things. It's got to have 4 headlamps. It's got to have the kidney grille. It's got to have the Hofmeister kink. Okay. So yeah, it does essentially have 4 headlamps.
4 headlamps.
Yeah.
On each side.
Okay. With a couple of exceptions. For the new 2 Series only has 1 on each side.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Okay.
The L's headlights, they mentioned it on their website. The kind of L.
Yeah. Okay. But what I like, is if you have a look at the Hofmeister kink,
I've actually got a bigger picture of it somewhere.
Yeah. There, I like that. I like that little detail.
The 5.
The 5 in the window. I think that's a very nice little detail. Yeah.
I do like that.
Yeah. So that's the R5 E40. Okay.
So that's the e-drive. So this is the
M60. This is the top of the range. Okay. This thing has got almost as much power as the current M5 competition.
Okay. So let's look. I've got the spec sheet in front of me here.
Okay.
So the R5 e-drive system performance, 230 kilowatts, 313 horsepower, 400 newton meters of torque.
Have a look at this M60. Find the M60. That's
M60.
It's got an insane amount of power.
380 kilowatts, 517 horsepower.
Yeah, I mean it's
795 newton meters of torque.
That's going to demolish an M5.
sport mode, 601 horsepower.
Yeah.
That's Yosus. That's pretty big.
Yeah. I mean,
what engine is in it though?
well, it's electric. I mean, it's the M60s, R5s are all electric.
So the R5 M60, you say
it's all electric. Yeah.
Battery electric vehicles. So.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is not internal. That's full electric.
Yeah, it's full electric. It's launching with the 530e as an internal combustion, but obviously the M5 is coming later, but it's going to be a hybrid.
So the R5e drive, that's also battery electric.
Yeah. All R5s are battery. Yeah.
Oh wow, I overlooked that when I was looking at these specs. I thought, yeah, okay. So I remember regaling the story to you, but when I was doing the Nissan launch, the launch of the Nissan Leaf.
Yeah.
In 2015, we were driving around Nasrik, the expo center, and I was just one of the drivers who did that thing. And we were picking up all the car models and giving them lifts, because we were the cool guys with cars. But of course, we drove some of the execs around. And at the time, when BMW launched the R3, when I had the head of technical for BMW for South Africa in the car, and we were talking, and he goes, "Oh, this is rubbish." Like, he was really downplaying the Leaf, which I kind of liked at the moment because it was the first electric car I drove, and the torque was just phenomenal. Plus it was stupidly quiet, and that struck me because I remember driving and we were demoing it, and I'd drive behind a crowd of people so quiet that they didn't know we were there. And the only reason they knew we were there is when the brakes kind of squeaked a little bit, and then the people would jump like that. So it was kind of fun. But yeah, I had the guy in the car, and I said to him, "I'm looking forward to seeing electric versions of the 3 Series and the 5 Series." And he goes, "No, we can't do that." And well,
I mean, yes, I mean, modern BMW architecture, the CLAR architecture, as it's called, is built around the ability to do internal combustion, hybrid, and full electric.
Yeah, when at the time, when he said he can't, I was like, "You guys are BMW."
Yeah, no, I know, it's insane.
But now look at that. I mean, I'm looking at it now with different eyes now, because that's a stunning car. If that's going to be, one thing I like about BMW is how the wheels look from behind.
I mean, they do have a very good stance and so on. I mean,
okay, so these are the videos. So this is the promo video that they put together. Kind of just basically a walk around.
Yeah,
when you think about it. So this is the E40.
Yeah. Okay, so one thing you can see, the M60, you can see the grille is actually different.
Yeah.
Okay, it's actually got a illuminated grille, which is BMW's new thing.
Oh, yes, I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
Make that up.
Okay, which I'm not, I'll be honest, it's a little tacky, but I mean, you can look at the detailing on that light. I mean, almost like crystal effects.
Yeah.
Which BMW is very fond of it, especially on the inside with their crystal knobs and dials.
I'm not hugely enamored by this grey colour. Some people love it.
Yeah, it's incredibly popular. There's an R7 running around Durban with that slightly darker version of it.
VW and Audi have one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm partial to brown cars, weirdly, and I know that's like, who the hell likes brown cars? But apparently I do, especially metallic brown. I mean,
I prefer the grille on the the more traditional grille, because the thing is, on the M60, you got the massive sensor in the middle there.
Yeah, it does take away from it.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Though apparently
the sensor's there too.
But it's hidden.
I think it's the lines, the grille effect that they put in.
I think, though, from what I understand, you can actually get the lines on the M60 as well. Thankfully. Yeah. Okay. Look, I think this is a fabulous design by BMW. It's not overly conservative, but at the same time, it isn't polarizing.
Yeah. But I think it's very interesting that a major motor manufacturer has now moved electric. So I mean, like when you look at the list, they start with the electric.
Yeah.
They start telling you about that first, so they're leading with it. And then we also kind of like a petrol and a diesel version. But
the other interesting thing is what BMW has done differently. Okay, Mercedes, for example, has the EQ range. So they got the EQ-E, they got the EQ-S.
Yeah.
But what BMW has done differently, they don't have some Merc has the E-Class and the EQE, but they look different.
Yeah,
they're different cars. Even I think under the skin they're related. But BMW have done the 5 Series and the R5. They're the same car externally, and I think that's maybe.
I like that. Yeah.
I think it's a better thing, because it's. If you might want to boast about having an electric car, but at the same time, I mean, it's nice to be slightly more traditional, maybe.
Yeah. So you want to keep the kind of traditional value. You're driving the car.
Yeah.
You know, you've got a 5 Series BMW. That's what you like. But it's electric.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just looking for the range on there.
Yeah.
Charging time. 8.25 hours at 11 kilowatts.
Yeah, but it was fast charging, obviously.
That's 0 to 100.
Yeah.
10 to 80% is 30 minutes.
Yeah, so that's not
That's
bad.
205 kilowatts. So that's at a fast charging station. Additional range after 10 minutes of DC charging. I don't know, what is DC charging? What do they mean by that?
That's what you're saying, charger.
You can get an extra 156 kilometers after 10 minutes charge.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It still doesn't max charging power. No range.
Yeah, I think it's. I think that generally Mercedes did the same thing when they launched their EQs. They didn't give a range initially.
Top speed 193 kilometers an hour.
For the
electronically limited.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we are. Range.
Oh, okay.
497 to 582 kilometers.
That's for the E40.
That's for the E40.
Yeah.
Let's go look at the other one. Top speed 230.
Yeah.
Electronically limited. Range 455 to 516.
Yeah. It's not bad.
That's. I love this. That's that's almost to Joburg.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Okay. Petrol stations are petrol stations.
Yes.
Right? They need to be in a certain place because of environmental restrictions. They have to have a certain tank built. They have to have all these restrictions. It has to be out and open. Yada, yada, yada. It's going to get to a point now where you would go to a mall and charge your car there.
Yeah.
So you're going shopping anyway. You're going to be in there for half an hour. So you may as well charge your car. And then you won't need to charge it at home. So you swipe your credit card, 50 rand or whatever it is. And I think that's going to be the future. So people who own malls and anywhere where there's parking are the future petrol station owners for electric cars.
Gateway's already got electric chargers.
Yeah, well, very few, but it's going to get more. You know, and so you're going to have that point where it's going to go, okay, well, I'm going shopping and I'm going to charge my car. And then you'll have all these petrol stations that are defunct. Yeah,
it's a serious issue. I mean, we got an issue in this country because overseas, they're going to, like I said, going to electric, but we don't have the capability to go fully electric like overseas does, and we're going to be stuck. And we're going to be stuck with cars that, I mean, the major manufacturers are dropping internal combustion engines, new internal combustion engines from 2030, 2035.
And we're going to be stuck with old cars.
Yeah.
I don't think we will be. So, number one, the reason being is they went safety ratings. You're not allowed to sell certain cars in Europe.
Yeah.
20 years after they made that rule, we still got those cars in South Africa. So, I mean, I don't think the likes of Tata and VW are going to actually stop. They're going to say we stop selling it in Europe and America. Yeah. But Africa, India, the rest of the world are getting cheap shit unsafe.
We're going to be flooded by, for example, by Chinese manufacturers because they're still going to be pumping
and then
up.
the emissions things aren't going to be right, and we're just going to get flooded with nonsense. I think, though, there's an opportunity for ingenuity there.
Yeah.
You know, so to have, like macro, you go to any macro now, or any, you know, they've, all their parking lots are covered with solar panels. Yeah. So for them, they could make money selling charging.
Yeah. Have
nothing to do with Eskom, you know. And the more businesses get involved in that, because now it's a product line they can sell. So when you look at, like on drive to Joburg, for example, so we go from here, we'll stop at Shell Ultra City, where there's a restaurant there.
Yeah.
The dynamics there, I believe, will change. So it won't be Shell renting the space to Spur. It'll be Spur renting the space to Shell. You know, and I think what's going to happen is you're going to have a change in focus of who's in power.
Yeah, that's an interesting, very interesting dynamic that could shift. Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, look, maybe I'm oversimplifying it. You won't have Spur going, people with a taste for electric cars. But what's going to happen is you're going to have a shift in power, and if the oil companies don't take advantage of it quickly, they're going to be losing out. So they need to be able to pivot quite quickly and plug in things. Because now, I mean, the BMWs are there, and like there's tons of BMWs on the road. Yeah, you know, and I wonder what the price is going to be. Did they say that? They didn't say the price on there.
No, I've seen the UK prices, but I'm not sure obviously I don't know what South African price is going to be.
So let's look at the R4 is 1.2, right? So if we go models, let's look at the entry level 4 series.
420, yeah.
So 965 or 940. So we're looking at a little bit more because I mean, like that first one there, so the coupe. Okay,
Yeah. Okay. So the 4 Series Grand Coupe and the one directly below it.
Yeah. There we are. Yeah. So that's a good comparison.
Yeah.
So it's like 300,000 rand difference.
Yeah.
For fully electric. People in that price market, are they going to be worried about a 300 grand difference?
I think this one maybe.
Look, when you look at the M4 competition, okay, that's a convertible next to it. So let's look at the M440 iDrive
Grand Coupe
1.4. That's cheaper.
Yes. That's actually, I mean, that's actually a very good point. I mean, the 440 is the top of the range. I mean, R4 is also the top of the range. So, I mean, it's 1.28 versus 1.4,
Okay, I think we should leave it there, Dave.
No fun.
Been good. Thanks so much.
Okay. Thanks, Simon. Okay, thanks, everyone. Those who are watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching. We're going to have to do the obligatory like and subscribe because we're starting this new. So if anyone who likes, follows, blah, 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 will be great. Follow us on TikTok. We're on TikTok. We're going to be on Instagram in the next day or so. And we'll just put clips out there and just have some fun.
Yeah.
Talk about nonsense.
Okay, thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
And we'll see you soon.
Cheers.
Cheers.